I just wanna, put my 2 cents in on your video. So here it goes. One, I'm sure you realize that this change that, we're looking for isn't just going to happen overnight, you know. And it seems like you're just, it seems like you're just saying, here's the awareness, now fix it. We all know that that's not going to happen. There is no way that you're going to be able to affect that many people at one time, you know. And I'm not trying to, tell you, oh, what you're doing is a waste of time. Even though sometimes, at one point, okay, I'll say it this way. At one point, I was doing pretty much the same thing that you're doing, trying to bring up awareness to our people. And I can't help but think it always falls on deaf ears, you know. So that's one part of it. As far as the whole, you know, black man, black woman fighting scenario, I don't really see that happening, or I don't really see it's true. As in, in real life, of course, it's portrayed in media and movies and such, of course, because that's what sells in the society. But as far as in real life, I really haven't seen it, you know. And I also live in New York. I'm actually on the Long Island side of Cambria Heights. So I'm fairly close to you. And, from the school I went to, I did not see a thing like that. Also, you did mention something with natural hair, whatever. Again, I don't see that being a problem, as like a barrier for our people. I don't see that as a barrier. Um, what else? What else? What else? Okay, I do agree. Well, of course, I do agree that, we do need to make people aware. Of course, that's to be expected. People need to be aware of what's going on, because people, will argue that, oh yeah, slavery's dead, slavery's gone. No, it's not. We still got slavery around. It may be, a little bit more subtle, but it's, it's still prominent. So let me see, what else. What else do I have to say? Okay, this part will have nothing to do with the video itself. This is just a general thing for me. It seems like, for the most part, you're putting the blame, as far as the whole, being captured, enslaved, the whole nine, on the Europeans. And that is a fallacy. Well, it's not a fallacy, but, you know, they're the ones who, you know, once they got through the dark ages and so on and so forth, they're the ones who, really brought it into the, power. But they're not the ones who actually started it. It started with the Arabs, and then the Spaniards, you know took over, and then I believe the Portuguese took over after the Spaniards. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It wasn't until the late 1700s that the English actually started to catch up with the rest of the world, as far as the whole slave trading scenario goes. So that was just one thing I did notice, and I wasn't sure if you knew, or you just, generalizing as far as United States, or just, the world in general. Um, what else? I think that's it. Other than that, I do respect your opinions. Obviously you did your research, but I'm also doing research myself. You know, So I guess keep up the good work. I guess keep educating people because obviously people are listening to you. So maybe this is the time for me to also come out and share the knowledge that I have with our people because before if it to me it still falls on deaf ears. Nobody really listens. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay, okay, okay." And I suppose you know, you have to really push that information out and stick to it. You know, don't just give up because a group of people won't listen, which, you know, I if you, my thing is if you don't listen, if I'm giving you information and you don't listen to it and I'm telling you something and you're not listening to me, then I'm just going to be like, "Okay, whatever. I'll move on." Or you're not worth the time or you're not worth my consideration of trying to educate you. So, that's pretty much all I had to say as far as the video and in general. But I do agree with most things you are saying. I do agree. And like I said before, keep up the good work. Keep pushing the videos out. I'm gonna actually start talking about real stuff, because I've been slacking on that. I'm actually talking about real stuff about our people. I'm gonna start just spitting knowledge out there because there are people who want to listen now. As I can see, there are people who want to know, who need to know, who have to know. So I will share my information. I'll share my knowledge, my opinions. So I want to help the cause. So that's what I plan to do. Um, yeah. Until then, peace.